I was young, ambitious, and poor, a law student scraping by in the old streets of Rio de Janeiro, where the sun shone hard on your back and the weight of appearances pressed even harder. My name is Damasceno Montero, and this is the story of how I betrayed myself, not with action, but with silence. It was the end of summer when I received the note from Donna Firmina. She was a widow, moderately wealthy, rigid in her habits, and well known for her devotion to propriety. She needed a legal petition written, and I had written several for her before. I was used to her abruptness, her insistence on formality. What I was not prepared for was the nature of her new request. When I arrived at her home, she greeted me, as always, with a cold nod and a gesture to follow her. We walked into the parlor, a quiet space filled with old furniture and the stale scent of incense. She didn't mention the petition immediately. Instead, she handed me a 5 milrays. A note. I need you to do something for me before we begin, she said. Of course, I replied, thinking it might be a document to collect, or perhaps a delivery. Go to the corner store, buy me a cane. A good one. Strong. I paused. A cane? Yes, she said sharply. Luquinha misbehaved. He needs correction. I would go myself, but I've visitors expected, you understand? Luquinha, her godson, a small, frail boy of mixed race, no more than 10 years old, who lived with her as a servant, though she claimed otherwise. I took the money. My fingers hesitated before closing around the note. 100 thoughts surged. I didn't approve of beatings. I didn't believe in corporal punishment. But this wasn't my house, nor my child. I wasn't striking the boy myself, was I? I left and walked slowly to the store. On the way, I passed people laughing, talking, going about their lives. I, meanwhile, was about to become an accomplice. I tried to rationalize it. I needed the money. I needed her referrals. She trusted me. Who was I to challenge her authority? At the store, I asked for a cane. Big one or small? The vendor asked casually. I don't know, I murmured. Strong. He handed me one wrapped in brown paper. It felt heavier than it looked. Back at her house, Donna Firmina took the package with a nod. Sit down, she said. We'll begin in a moment. I sat in the adjacent room near the hallway. Then came the sound. The first strike, then a gasp, then silence. And again, the crack of cane on skin. I sat frozen. I could hear her voice scolding, calm and composed, as if reading a prayer. I heard Luquinha's sobs, muffled, restrained. He wasn't allowed to cry loudly. That would have been another offense. I stared at my hands, trying not to clench them. My throat dried. My feet itched to move, but I remained seated. The beating stopped. A few minutes later, she returned, composed and pleasant as if nothing had happened. Let's begin, she said. And we did. I wrote the petition. I asked her the usual questions. She answered in a calm, business-like tone. We signed the papers. She paid me, and I left. The streets outside were unchanged. People passed by, unaware. But something in me had shifted. That night I lay awake. Had I committed a crime? No. Had I violated the law? No. Had I betrayed my own conscience? Completely. I told no one about that day. Not my friends, not my professors, not my future employers. But the memory stayed. It stayed through my years of study, through my rise as a lawyer, through dinners with politicians and meetings with judges. And sometimes, when I passed a young boy in the street, especially one who reminded me of Luquinha, I remembered the sound of that cane. I remember how heavy it felt in my hand. We are not always defined by what we do. Sometimes we are condemned by what we allow to happen. So I ask you, have you ever been silent when it mattered most? Have you ever told yourself it wasn't your place just to avoid discomfort? Would you have bought the cane? Speak to me. Share your thoughts in the comments. And while you do, remember that here in our channel, we choose not to be silent. We speak up for the voiceless, especially our dogs and cats, who suffer not by choice, but because of human neglect and cruelty. We believe in compassion, in action, and in responsible care. Join us, support our stories, and stand up not just for fiction, but for all those who cannot stand alone.